Now correlation, what is correlation, right? Correlation is, correlate, right? There are two things, you correlate between these two things. Now let me give you an example. Let's say when you open an application, right? When you open an application, then from server you get a dynamic ID from server when you open an application, right? And after opening, what you do, you send a login request. What you do after you open the application, you send a login request, right? So you are sending request to the server. When you are sending login request to the server, what do you send?
The login credential.
Login credential, right? You send login credential, but the application with your login credential, it attach another value and send it to the server, right? Now you are sending, when you are sending the login request, you are sending login credential, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yeah, you are sending, let's say, user ID and password,
right?
With your user ID and password, the application itself sends another dynamic value,
It's kind of encrypted something.
encrypted value.
Okay.
That's it. Server itself sent it.
In
The application itself send it to the server.
correspondence to my credential.
Corresponding to your credential.
Right.
Now, that dynamic value that we are sending when logging in, that value, we are getting this value. Like, remember, when you open application from server, in the response you get a dynamic value when you open application. So when you open application, you invoke the URL, you send it to the server. Server in response send you a view, like to input user ID password. With that view, it also send a dynamic value. Now that dynamic value that you are getting when you are opening the application, you are using that value in the following step when you are logging in. So when you are logging in, you are sending user ID and password plus that dynamic value that you are getting when you open application. You send that value with your login.
That's in the back end. As a user, you don't
No,
deal with them.
no, it is in the back end.
Okay.
It is in the back end. It is, you are not sending it in the front end. Now,
We are not dealing with that.
no,
We
now,
are saying that the way it works.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, see, when you are manually using the application, you are not dealing with that value. But when you are writing load runner script, then you are dealing with that value.
Different.
You got it? So when you are manually inputting user ID and password, you even do not see that dynamic
We
value.
don't even know about it.
You do not know about it. But when you are writing a load runner script,
Response will be bad.
you use that value, and in load runner, actually, if you understand this correlation concept, it is one of the complex thing that you need to understand, the dynamic value.
So, another word, I still did not understand correlation. I understand it.
So the
what is
correlation,
correlation?
now the correlation is like you are capturing that dynamic value when you open application,
When invoking the application.
invoking the application,
Mhm.
and then you are saving it to a variable when you are opening application, right?
Okay.
And then you use that variable in logging. When you are logging in, like when you open application, you capture that value, you store it in a variable. Now when you are logging in, you just use that variable to submit your login request. So that is what correlation is.
Oh, okay. So when we invoke the application, we capture the server response.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And we use that response with my credential
yeah.
to log in that application.
Application.
So that is correlation.
That is correlation. Now,
So eventually you have to know how to capture that.
how to capture. You already have learned how to use average find, right?
Right.
So when you use average find, what do you do? When you use average find,
We try to
you
keep
capture something from
some text from the front end.
you capture something from server response, right?
Right.
So when you do average find, you capture something from response,
Right.
right? Average find. So average find is one way to capture something.
Right.
And average, besides average find, you will be using another command, that is web reg save ex. Average save param ex. So you already learned how to use average find with counter and without counter, right? We already learned in the class.
With counter means step count, you mean?
Yeah, save count.
Right.
With counter, without counter.
Right.
Now, in this example that we are going to do today, we are going to use that knowledge that we learned in the previous class to average find with counter, plus we are going to learn the manual correlation part here. Is it
recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Now, see here, I'm going to discuss on a test case today. I'm going to implement a test case today, right? The first step of the test case is
Test case for performance test, right?
Yeah, one performance test case. We are going to do here. Let me now. Let's say TC001, right?
Yeah.
Test case number. Test case name. Web tools login. Web tools login. Let's keep it simple. First step. Okay. Step number one. Step number one is, so how do we open that application? To work on that test application, what we need to do? Let me also, in the meantime, let me also open my VirtualBox, because I will be doing my scripting in VirtualBox today. Okay, so in order to run that application, right, where do we get that application? We get that application in all programs and where is my HP software, right?
Yeah.
This is my HP software. If I go there, inside that one, load runner, right? Inside load runner, I have samples. So this is the application, right? So if I want to start this application, will it start?
No.
It will not start, right? So you can see that it will not be able to. So what I will have to do here? I will have to bring the server. Let me bring the server as well. Page cannot be displayed, right? Now let me go there again.
So
in the
are you in the virtual machine right now? Or the
no,
virtual
I'm in the base machine. Yeah. But we will do scripting in the virtual machine today.
So today another load runner. How could we turn on internet in virtual machine? Do we need to do that?
No, it will automatically get connected.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and for this application, you don't need to connect to internet.
No, that's what I'm saying in general.
Yeah, automatically it will connect to internet.
Today we did scripting on virtual machine?
Yeah.
Instead of load runner?
Yeah. So here, if you go there, samples web. Now I will have to start this server, right? Because without server, this application cannot run. This application is locally installed, right? Now if I refresh here, right? If I refresh here, now we can see the application, right? Okay. Now let me tell you. Let me bring Fiddler as well. Try to understand what I am doing here. Let me bring Fiddler as well. So the first step that we are doing, we are invoking this application. Now the first step, invoke web tools application, web tools application by going to this one, right? So what is the expected output? Application login page will appear. Next step. Step 2, input user ID and password and click on login, right? Login button. Click on login. So what will happen here? When you do login, then it like login successful message will appear, right? Message will appear for valid credential. Remember, for valid credential it will be login successful. For invalid credential it will say error, right? Now let's see what is the condition of that.
You're in virtual machine now, right?
I'm trying to see. I'm in virtual machine as well. Now I'm not looking in virtual machine here. Now take a look one thing here. In the fiddler, I'm going to clear everything, right? Right?
Yeah.
Delete. Then I'm going to go to application. Can you see I'm clicking on refresh?
Right. That's
Right?
kind of invoke application.
Yeah, invoke application. I invoked application here, right? So these requests like 9 requests or 8 requests, they are for invoking application. When you invoke application, right, you send a request to the server, and server in response, many other things happen. So these are the all of the activities those happen when you invoke the application. Now I'm going to comment out this. Let's say 01 open application, right? So these activities are for opening application. So when I first go to the URL, can you see? Now if you take a look here, everyone, this part here, what is this? Request. What is this? Response. Now how do you see? You can see normally we see the request in two ways: web forms and raw. These two mostly we use, okay? And in response you can select web view, right? And sometimes you will see data. Not all of the requests will be able to display a web view. Now let's see which one has a good web view. I think this one, not this one. Let's see this one. Can you see? When you are sending a request to the server in response send you something. And can you see, like we send the request here in this line, but subsequently some other thing happened, right? Because of the application, how it works. One of the requests is giving us this view, right? Where we input user ID and password. Clear?
Yes.
Now I'm going to do a manual login here. So what is the user ID I will use? Automate code. I'm not sure if it will work. Automate code 1 and password L12345. Now I'm going to submit that login request. Now can you see that whatever user ID I used, it is saying welcome, right? Welcome. And let's go to Fiddler. So if you go to Fiddler, can you see previously for opening application our request up to that point, right? So these requests happened for what?
Login.
For login. 0 to login. Is it clear? Okay. Now you will see actually what is that, like I'm saying manual correlation or correlation. What is this actually?
You need record it. Right?
Yeah, I'm recording everything.
No, it's
Which
about-
one? No, I'm not recording in
It's a manual
Load Runner.
interface.
Manually I'm explaining it.
Okay.
Okay. Now you will see actually what that correlation means.
Really means.
Really means. Now take a look here. If you, let's say we are submitting our login request. Now if you go there,
And
right?
if somebody log in with the document that server
Yeah. See here, if you click on web forms,
Right.
if you click on web
So
forms,
login, right?
yeah, this is the login. Can you see? We are looking at login. Now look at here. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. Right?
Yeah.
Can you see your user ID and password?
I see.
We supplied user ID and password. You can see what we are looking. This is the request. This is the request that we are sending to the server. So when we are sending the request to the server, we have supplied a user ID. We have supplied a password. It is true, right? Now with that, can you see something else here? Some dynamic value here. This one,
User session.
user session, right? Can you see this user session?
I do.
That means with user ID and password, we are sending a dynamic session ID, right? That I was telling you that we also send a dynamic session ID. Now, where are we getting this session ID? This session ID,
Server created.
server created when?
When you request.
When you are when we are this session ID. This session ID is created when you open the application.
Right.
You are using it when you are logging in. You are using it when you are logging in,
Yeah.
but it is created when you open
At the time of
the
opening the application.
at the time of opening application, right?
So your previous transaction come to the new one, am I right?
Now you created this dynamic value when you open application, and when you are logging in, you are using that. Now let me copy this value.
So, like for example, that username and password, that's basically request. So you are sending the user session with the request,
With the request,
which we have got at the time of response of opening application.
opening application,
Okay, got it.
right? Now I copied this user session.
Okay.
Then you come to the left hand side of the filter. Press Ctrl F. Paste that value here,
Okay.
and then I am going to look in response. Which response I said that we get that value in a response from the server when we open the application.
Right.
That means we are trying to find out where actually this value appeared, this value coming from.
Because at this time we are sure that this is a request went to at the time of login.
Login.
So in other words, we have got this at the time of response of application invoked.
Yeah. Now I'm
trying to find
I'm
where
trying
we
to
got
find
it.
out in which response I'm saying that this value generated when I open the application.
Exactly.
Now I'm trying to figure out where it generated, in which response it generated.
Right.
So when I'm looking, search in response only, right? Response only. And then can you see decode compressed content, right? Now click on, and can you see result highlight yellow? If you get it in any of the response, highlight it yellow. Now find session.
That's the one.
Now can you see it is saying that I got this value in open application in this request.
So now we can click there and go to response.
In which
Find
request?
it.
In which request?
Open application.
That is marked as
Yellow.
yellow. So, and this request is in opening application. You all can see, right?
That's it.
Click on here, and then can you see this value here?
Right.
No, you cannot see it. Can you see this value here?
No, you're in
No,
the raw.
you'll have to go to raw. Now, sometimes response is like 50 pages long. How will you find it?
Search it again.
No search. You paste it here.
Where?
You paste it here.
Right.
At the bottom.
But
Can
that
you
is
see?
searching, right?
Yeah, that is search.
Yeah.
Can you see that this value in the response it is present?
It is present there, yeah.
Is it present in the request? Is it present in the request?
No.
In the request?
No, not
No.
in the request, in the
It is
response.
in the response. It is present.
That's why we're trying to find response.
Yeah.
All that is response. Yeah.
Present, right?
Yes.
You understand, everyone?
Yeah.
Can you ask me question if you have any?
But I didn't understand how it get over here.
Oh, over here. So this is the response. When you paste it here, it will automatically point you over there.
When? Oh.
If it is present in the response, it will, let's say this value I'm looking, instead of looking into this response, I'm looking into in this one, right? So if I paste it here, can you see it is marking as orange?
Oh.
That means it didn't get it.
Alright.
So where it is present? It is
Here.
present here. If you paste it here, again, can you see it is becoming green and it is pointing you over there?
It's highlighting.
Highlighting, and also in this text box it is marking as different color, green or some similar color. Now you understand
Yes.
what it is actually in correlation. This value it is appearing when you do scripting. When you manually log in, you never know that is happening. But when you work in load runner, actually you have to capture that value. When you open application, you have to capture that value, and then when you capture it, you are saving it to a variable. We all know what is variable. We discuss a lot about variable, right? Right? Now, when you open application, you capture that value, you save it to a variable, and then
As a string.
as a string. Now you have it as a parameter, you saved it in a parameter or variable. Now later on, wherever you need it, sometimes you will see this value in real application. You are using that value that you are capturing. Every request you are sending afterwards in real application, let's say you have 15 transaction, everywhere you are using that value. Sometimes, but here we might not see. This is a demo application. You might not see that impact
At
here.
least we'll see once, right?
Yeah, we'll see once. We have to use this value, otherwise our login will not pass. Right? Now let me go to and start recording the script itself. That is the main thing. Like what we are discussing today again, Saeed. Can you tell me what we are discussing today? What is the topic that we are discussing today?
Make more money. That's the correlation one.
What is the topics that we are discussing today, Saeed?
Last class topic was the new topic.
New topic. What is that new topic? Correlation, manual correlation. Very good, manual correlation. We are discussing manual correlation. Now can you stand up? Stand up and come in front of class.
Excuse me.
Okay. Now can you give me a little bit idea what is manual correlation?
Manually going through formation between two values.
What is now my goal? What is the dynamic value? What is that? How it is impacting our work? Why I need to capture it every time? If I know this value, I can always use this value in login.
Because every time it produces new dynamic values.
Dynamic?
So that's why.
Yeah, that's what the
Yeah.
dynamic.
You need
It's
to
not
capture
same
it
all the
every
time.
It is not same all the time,
So
right?
it's not the same all the time.
It is not
Okay,
same all the
now-
time.
now you
Right.
Right? So see this value. Now let me do one other time. Let me clear everything. Control A, delete.
And now we're going to create another dynamic and compare previous one. Is the
Log
same,
out, right? Yeah.
No, when the word itself is telling that it's not same dynamic.
Yeah. Okay, now
No, that's why something we call that.
hold on. Now I'm going to clear everything, and then I'm going to click on refresh. Right? So this refresh is working for my
Okay, okay.
open application. Then I'm going to do a login. Let's go there. Login, right? Now in login, if you take a look here, we send this dynamic value. Can you see? This time we send this dynamic value. Now let's take a look where we are getting that. Now this is the previous value, right? Now if you take a look, find this. Can you see?
No.
The previous value, we are not getting it. Can you see the previous value? I am looking for the previous value. Can you see?
No.
Am I getting anything?
No yellow.
No.
This is a different session.
This is a different session. Now let's take a look for the new value, right? You will see the new value is present here, right?
Yeah.
Now let's do a comparison with the new value and the previous value. Can you see the difference between the new value and the previous value? The previous value is this one, new value is this one. Can you see these numbers are different? These numbers are different.
Altogether it's different.
So let me ask you, if they were similar, highlight something similar.
If they are similar, it will say they are similar.
Now, this is
How
using,
is action? How is action?
this is fit. What is
Cadip.
Cadip.
Cadip. We are comparing two values.
So how is
That's
that?
because we are seeing that it's different, but the purpose is the dynamic for one session, the dynamic for another would be different.
Different.
That's the whole thing.
Now, if
So
this,
if the response comes with a different dynamic value.
yeah,
Okay.
every time it will be different.
Okay.
That's why we need to capture it. We do not know what is that value. When we are opening application, we have to capture it, and then we have to catch it, and then we have to use it for the
Future.
next time. Remember, some kids, they always run. They keep running.
Yeah.
You have to catch them, right?
Right.
So it like this dynamic value, it is always changing. We have to catch it. When we are executing, invoking application, we have to catch it, and then we have to put it somewhere. We have to see, tie it with something, right?
Right.
Now, see if these two value are same. Can you see? It is saying files A and B equal text. Can you see this? So when you are comparing, if your two value are equal, then it will say they are compared. This from this tool you will be able to compare it. I mean,
This is only
character
for
to
the
character.
text comparison, nothing else.
Text comparison.
So why it says file A and B have equal text but not binary equal? The text is equal.
Text
right?
equal, not binary equal. Don't forget about it.
Okay, that's something.
The text equal. Can you see that they is saying text are equal?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now let me go there. Let me start my recording now. Let's see if I have Fiddler here. Okay, I have Fiddler here. All right. So let me close this application from here. Let me close Fiddler from here.
So we're gonna do something for the last class now, right?
No, it will be combined.
Or it will be the
Combined, yeah. Now, if I want to record, what I'll have to do? I'll have to open views then. So remember, in load runner we discussed three components.
Right.
One is views then for generating script. Another one is controller for executing the script. And another one is HP analysis for analyzing the result. Right. Now I have opened this application. Then I will use Fiddler with it, right? Let me keep Fiddler as well. And then
Fiddler has also three components.
no, Fiddler also has response, request, and remember that Fiddler is a subsidiary tool that help us in scripting. It is not part of load runner.
But technically, in practical field, you don't need Fiddler, do you?
A practical field you need Fiddler. You need Fiddler, or you can work without Fiddler.
That's what I mean.
You can
Seems to me
you can work without Fiddler, but if you work without Fiddler, as you are learning, it will be a little bit difficult for you. But lot of experience performance engineer, they use Fiddler.
But other than single user bandwidth, what exactly you use?
Oh, other than, you'll see, we are going to use Fiddler now.
Okay.
Okay, now let me open that application again, that demo application. So everyone understanding what I am explaining here?
Until now, it's excellent.
Okay, all right.
Going smooth.
Okay. Now if I want to open this application, I'll have to start this server. I'll have to start this server. The server is started, and then I'll have to start that.
Did you close server before?
No, it was in my local machine. Now I am starting it in my virtual machine. Okay. Now in the virtual machine, you can see that I have the server opened and I have the Fiddler opened. Let me clear.
That thing open in your business, right?
No.
No, it's all in the.
Now it is in the. Now it is in the.
So were they saved in the virtual machine before you started it? Or
Huh? What? What is the question?
The load runner and the Fiddler, they were all saved in the virtual machine before you put it up? Because you have it now in the virtual machine, am I right?
Yeah.
So is it from the base that you got it from, or is
No, I just opened my virtual machine, and in the
that's
virtual
it? Okay.
machine
Okay.
I have opened it. I'm trying to see if it reflects it here. Tools, Fiddler options.
Since we got a share folder in a virtual machine, so we are pretty much gonna be able to do anything that we have in our business, right?
Yeah. So probably I'll have to go back to the result capturing here. I'll have to go back to my base machine to do this.
What would have been different?
Actually, last time I was having a little bit difficulty in my base machine.
Oh,
that's why.
Why do you want me to do that in a virtual?
Oh, actually, last time I was having a little bit difficulties with my
Oh.
scripting in base machine. That's why. But I'll have to continue here in the base machine because it is actually. Now, again, we know what is the URL, right? We know what is the URL. We know the application. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to. I'm going to use the application itself. Suppose where I'm going to start the web server, and I know the URL. Where is that URL? In my document, in the test case, I know the URL here. That is the URL we are going to record on. Okay. Now let me start Vusion. And we will have another step here. Logout. Click on sign off. Sign off.
Oh, after you log in, they sign off, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me stop recording. Now guys, I'm going to open a script, new script. This new script, again, what is the protocol? Web HTTP, and I'm going to create that script in this folder. I'm going to name it as tc01 web tours login log out. Create.
What did you do? Log in, log out?
I'm just giving a name to
Oh.
that script, web tours.
Basically for those three.
Yeah, for that three steps.
In both the application,
Mhm.
log in and sign off.
Log out. Now I know the URL, right?
Yes.
Click on record. You go there, you put the URL here. What is that URL? This is our URL. We are going to record on it, right? I'm going to start recording, guys. Okay. So what it is doing, it is opening the application for me.
You didn't finish recording, did you?
No. Recording is still going on. Can you see it? It opened the application for me. Now let's go to the Fiddler. Can you see these requests appeared here? For what? For open application. Okay. Then we are going to do login. Login. Now you go to the application. You input your user ID. Automate code 1 and input your password. Click login. Okay. Now I logged in, right? Then after login, here these transactions are for what? For login. And then what is my next task? Sign up. I'm going to create another transaction. Log out. Go to the application, right? Stop this transaction and stop recording. Now over there in Fiddler, I'm going to put this transaction is for sign out, right? Okay. Now my script is recorded. My Fiddler is captured to. I'm going to save this Fiddler by going there, save all session, and then I'm going to save it where I have the script. No, I have the script itself. So I think I'm saving the scripts in a folder here, performance testing, and I think we created this one, right? Today, can you see 311? So this is, let's say, Fiddler cases. Okay, let's keep it here. I do not want to capture any other thing, so I am stopping capturing in Fiddler. Okay, now let's go to manual. What is that manual correlation?
Now we're going to
Manual correlation, right? And then I will be doing whatever we did in the last class afterward. First I am going to explain manual correlation. Remember, I am going to give you a couple of homework, so put your attention here.
Why do you call this manual correlation while we are doing this way?
See, manual correlation, remember last time we did automatic correlation. We select the value, right click and correlate. Remember last time we already did it, automatic correlation with you. What we did, we selected this value, right click, and then we selected that correlate, and then we click on correlate. It was able to correlate it automatically. We do not need to do anything. But this time we are not doing it in that way. We already did that automatic correlation.
Why do we do the correlation? Why do we need to do that?
If you do not correlate that value, your script will not pass.
I mean, every time we have to.
Because every time
we have
changing
to
the dynamic
Every time you
we have
write
to
your
do the
script,
new script.
every time you write a new script, if you see this dynamic value, you have to correlate. Otherwise, your script will not pass.
Because-
You'll see it here.
because this dynamic value is changeable.
Yeah, you'll see it here. Now take a look, guys. Here, let me put a breakpoint here. Okay, and let me try to execute that script. So why did I put that breakpoint?
26.
Why?
It will stop here.
And login state.
It will. I want to see what happened in that login step. So that's why. Can you see this is the login request where I am submitting the user ID and password. So can you see it was able to open the application, right? It was able to open the application. Now what we are doing here in this request, we are submitting the login request, right? Can you see automate code 1?
Right.
So what we are doing here in line number, in this line number, we are submitting
Login.
login credential. Can you see the login page? We are inputting the user ID, we are inputting the password, we are sending it to the server. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did I already submitted the login?
Not yet. No.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I didn't submit the login yet. Sai, did I submitted the login? No. My question here. Did I already submitted this login request?
Yes, but I'm only waiting for the information.
Yeah. But my question here, did I submitted the login request with the user ID and password?
Yeah, you did. That's why you said the user ID.
No, you did not submit it.
You already submitted the open.
I opened the application.
Open.
Because I opened the application, I got that login page, but I didn't submit the login request yet.
Yes.
Right? Now, hold on here. Can you see I am submitting this login request with this dynamic value, right? This dynamic value, I am sending the login request with this dynamic value. Now this dynamic value, where did I get that value from? When I open the application, but when I record it, right? When I record it, I got that dynamic value. I am going to put it here for some reason. Now, will this value work for the second time when I am trying to log in?
No.
Should not.
This value,
Will not.
I got it when I was recording, it was able to log in with this dynamic value. But do you think it will be able to log in one more time?
No. Because you haven't coded it yet.
Can you see it was not able to log in? Probably bad user session value. Can you see this message here? And we didn't get
Which one
that.
did you use this one? The last time, the one you just tested right now?
Last time we recorded. While recorded, we got that value. Now we are trying to log in one more time. Use that value.
Same value.
Is the same value.
It wouldn't work.
It's the same value. That's why it's not working.
It is not. It will not work because this value is every time it is new value, right?
It's a dynamic value.
Mhm.
It's not static. That's why you cannot use the twice.
Very good.
So
If we correlate it,
then it will work.
Hmm?
If you code it, then it's gonna work.
If I correlate, then it will work. If I correlate, now what do I correlate? This value I have it. I have to correlate it somewhere. Correlate means I have to capture it somewhere. Then from there I will have to use it here, right?
Right.
Okay. Now these
So
value.
correlate means here basically because eventually we know that we are only talking about one user ID and password at the moment. We may have like 100. So every single time we try to log in, the server will generate that
Value.
dynamic value.
Yeah.
So somehow we have to correlate it every single time that the new one
Yeah.
and put it and use it for credential.
Yeah.
With the credential.
Yeah.
So that's what it means, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now take a look here.
So, sorry, one more.
Sure.
So the correlation is between the dynamic value and the user and the credential, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't correlate the dynamic value, then when you try to log in again, it's not going to happen because
No.
you can save it basically.
No, it will not work. You can see from here that this value was used in the past.
Manually when you are doing.
Yeah, manually. But if you try to log in with this value, it will never work. You will never be able to log in. Sabir bhai,
Right.
can you see that why we need to do correlation? We are trying to log in, but it is failing us here. If you take a look at the message here, can you see what is the line number? 26. Line number 26.
Oh.
Actually, this is
Yeah.
this is the request.
That's
That
the
is
request,
where it
yeah.
is sending.
That is
So
good.
can you see, because of that session value, our login is not successful. So we have to do correlation. Now we know how to do manual correlation. We are going to do automatic correlation. How we will do automatic correlation? This is the main question. Now, how we will do automatic correlation? Now you capture. I know this is the culprit, right? You copy this. You go to your fiddler. You press Ctrl F. You paste it here. I'm very simply showing you. Select response only. Decode compress. And can you see result highlight yellow? You can choose your color. It doesn't matter. Find session. Can you see? Now one line is pink because we have
That's
selected
the
pink.
line actually generating that data.
That's the line actually where the value is generating, originally generating.
That request.
That is the line where we have to capture the value. Now, can you see this line? It is in which transaction?
Open application.
This line is in open application, right? Now, let's go to our script. Now, in open application, can you see we are starting login here? Now, actually open application is before login. So that is where we are opening application. Right?
We have to put that LR start transaction as well, right?
Hold on.
For that.
We will put LR start transaction, but that is where we are opening application. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, here we have to capture. Can you see this? Can you see here, from this call we are getting that dynamic value, right? From this, that is where we are opening application.
Right.
Application. So we have to capture this value from here.
Within that range.
So that is where we are sending request to the server, and server in response giving us that dynamic value, right?
So we figure out that we got that value from our request of invoking the application.
Invoking the
We
application.
got the what is it called? LR start to login. So
Mhm.
before login, that was the application.
Opening application.
So we must have that over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now right click here. Right click, and then can you see insert? Everyone, new step, and over there you type save. Can you see save param?
Yes.
Save param EX. Can you see this? You double click on it. Okay. Now parameter name. You give a parameter name. Let's say S session ID. You can give any name. Session ID. Now you'll have to give a left boundary and right boundary. You'll have to give a left boundary and right boundary. What you will have to give? A left boundary and a right boundary. Now, what will be that left boundary and right boundary? Now, let's go to fiddler. So that is the request. That is generating the dynamic value. You come to raw, and you paste that value here. So this is the value that we need to capture,
1.5.
right? This is the whole value we need to capture.
Right.
Now left boundary, what is the left boundary you have? Before that value, what you can see? Left side of that value.
Session, the word session.
Left side of that value. This is the value from 1 to F. In the left side of the value, what you can see?
Equal sign.
Equal sign, and what else?
Value.
Right?
Value equal to.
Value equal to. So let's capture
So that's the left boundary.
This is the left boundary,
Oh.
right? I'm copying that left boundary,
Okay.
and then I'm going to put it over there, left boundary. You got it? And right boundary. What is the right boundary? Let's go to Fiddler again.
Also double quotation included.
Double quotation, and this is the right boundary, right? Are you understanding what I'm doing?
Yes.
You copy this.
In other words, that has to be matched exactly, boundary wise.
Yeah, boundary wise.
It cannot be one of.
So what it will do next time when it will try to capture, it will try to find a word value
Boundary.
equal to boundary. It will and after the boundary it will start recording, and it will record
And
up to the right boundary. You got the mechanism?
Yes.
So it will start recording from value equal to double quote, and then it will stop recording on double quote when it will get that double quote and slash. Now let's put it the right boundary. Understand? Click. Okay.
That's all here.
That's all here. Can you see it has generated this step here? Session ID. It named. We named that parameter as session ID. We named that parameter as session ID, right? Now you go there and you go to your login request. You go to your login request instead of this session ID. Instead of this session ID, we are going to put that parameter. I'm going to remove this dynamic value. Can you see? I'm removing this dynamic value. I'm just keeping this session ID, and I put curly bracket.
Basically, I try to make it string.
We,
The whole thing.
what we did here, when we are opening application, we are capturing that value and saving it in that session ID.
Yeah.
And then when we are logging in, we are using it here. Right? Now you go to your replay runtime settings, and in the runtime settings you select, can you see that log? Can you see log? And you come here extended log, and you select parameter substitution, you click save, and now you previously we were failed here, right, in line number 26. Now let me execute it again.
It's not fail because
Now it should not fail,
Okay.
right? Because
What is it?
now can you see here, guys, can you see here in opening application, can you see saving parameter? If you double click on it on line number 13, no phone, look at here, you will be asking me question later on. Can you see here when we are opening application, right, in line number 13 we have that session ID. Can you see it saved this session ID in that variable? Saving parameter session ID equal to this. That means it was able to save that session ID when it was opening the application.
So can you copy this, put in the cadif and run one more time, see? we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
another-
So let me copy this and let me go to cadif, right? Can you see this value? Sure. Follow the recording. Now can you see here? This is the value when we log in manually. This is the value now we are capturing. Can you see these two values is different? Does it make sense? Like how it is different?
So the current one is the right side, right?
Right side.
So if you run one more time, see that
Yeah,
one is
we'll
different
see.
than the
We'll
current.
see. Yeah, sure. Now let's keep running. Where we are at this point?
Login.
We are here in login, right? Now look at here. If I send this login request, is it failing now?
Okay, no, it should not fail because
It is
we
not
are-
failing, and can you see it was able to log in?
Right.
Can you see output window? And that's it. Manual correlation. Now the main question is if you understand it. If you understand it or if you do not
Is it
understand
manual
it.
correlation?
This is what manual correlation.
But,
We manually see what is the left boundary, what is the right boundary, and we put it on that over there, and it was able to capture the value. This is what manual correlation.
We're doing automatic though.
This is
Yeah,
manual
but-
correlation.
Okay.
We
Automatic
save all
correlation,
the
you right
manually.
click, correlate, it will correlate.
Oh, I
Here,
see, I see, okay.
here we saw what is the left boundary, what is the right boundary, and then we save some value on that variable and you use it manually,
But we configuring manually. But
Manually.
Actually, we are running automatically.
automatically. Right? Okay, let me move forward. So now, guys, if you take a look here in that script, in that little script, that is where we are login, right? Now our user ID is this one. So when you are running a performance test, you will have thousands, hundreds of users. So you cannot hard code this value here, automate code 1. What you will have to do, you will have to do parameterization,
Again.
right? So again, to do parameterization, what you do, go to parameters and you come here new, and then you give a name p user ID, and you do browse. You do browse. When you browse, actually you create table, and the table is created, right? And edit with notepad. P user ID. Now you are going to put automate code 1, automate code 2, automate code 3, right?
You can do the Excel.
We can do Excel, but I'm just showing you here. Now I am saving it here. I'm saving it here.
So this parameterization and that session ID parameterization, the same thing. The only difference this is we have to
We are
give the data,
data
and that dynamically is getting and catching.
getting it, that is coming from the server.
That's again summer. But it still is the same parameterization.
Same parameterization. Okay. Now you got P user ID, right? And we have a password as well,
Yeah.
right? Create another parameter. Name P password, right? Now are we going to create a table, another table?
No, the same
No,
table on the
we are
side.
going to use the same table for
Same table.
data. Now you create browse, and you show where is that previous table you created, right? We showed them. Now edit with notepad. Now you come here, P user ID, and you put P password, right? And here put a comma and put your password. You put your password.
But if we wanted to put a different table, we could still do that, though, right?
Yeah, you can do. You can do, but the problem here,
Corresponding.
you
Yeah.
know, some of the user might have different password,
Right.
and it might mismatch.
Mismatch.
So that's why
We put side by side.
this is the best practice. You do
Yeah.
it side by side,
Same table.
and you come here, save it, and you come here. Now you go there, P user ID. Can you see by name?
Yeah.
You select by name P user ID, and for password you do the same thing by name. You select password and you select. Can you see sequential? You select same line as P user ID.
Oh.
Same line. That means we are telling whatever password, whatever line number P user ID, the password, take the
Same
password
line.
from the same line. You got it? Okay. Now I'm saying same and close, and then you come here. Instead of this automate code, you select P user ID, and instead of this password, you say P password. Right? Now, if you run it, this is parameterization. We created file, and we have correlated user ID and password in the same file. Now, if you execute it, right?
So again, this is a correlation.
Yeah. This is not really correlation.
Real correlation,
This is
but it's sort of
parameterization.
parameterization.
Now take a look here. We are logging in, right? Now if you send the request, can you see here? Can you see here that for P user ID we have used automate code 1, and for password we have used L12345, and our login was successful, right? Correct? Now let's say I want to execute it for the second data. Note, I want to execute it.
Change it, one of the data over there, password for example.
Yeah,
It will not pass that.
I'll change it. But before that, let's say previously I ran it for automate code 1. Now I have to run it for automate code 2.
Right.
How will I do that? Can you see? You select P user ID, and then can you see first
Two.
data line?
Two.
2. Now it will be running for
Number 4.
number 2,
Second
right?
one first.
Yeah, let me run it. Let me run it.
If I put three together, then it's done one by one.
We'll do that. Now if you do the execution, right, and take a look what is the parameter it used this time. If you come here, your log, you come here, where will you see the log? Here, right? Can you see it has used automate code 2, right? Is it clear?
Yes.
Now let's go to the parameter again. I want to execute it for the third parameter. I want to execute it for the third parameter, automate code 3. I am select. Can you see how I am navigating through different user credential? If you want to test a particular user credential, now you execute it and run it. Now if I execute it, it was able to do that, right? And what is the user ID we are using this time? Automate code 3. Clear? Is it clear? Automate code 3. Okay. Now I want to execute
All three together.
all 3 together. What will I do? Can anyone tell me? Runtime settings, logic, 1, 2, 3. Will it run it for 3 times? Okay, let me see. Are you sure? Remember, it is now
You have to change your one.
here. We will have to change it
One.
1, right? Now if you execute it 3 times,
With run logic you are putting how many?
how many?
Here you are putting where to start, right?
Where to start? Now I have started execution. You will see
Stop.
that it stopped here, right? Now every time it will stop here.
Right.
I do not want to stop here. What I will have to do? I will have to remove that breakpoint and keep running it.
This time it will do all three, right?
All 3 together. Now how will you make sure that it has executed this one 3 times?
You should be able to find it.
See here, ending ITA. If you search here ending ITA, can you see iteration? You can type iteration, but can you see this is the first iteration, log out successful, right? Can you see ending iteration, right? Then if you do it second time, can you see ending iteration 2? Can you see? Huh?
No, I'm talking about automate code 2. Where is it?
Yeah, or automate code. If you scroll up, you will see automate code 2.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's see what happened for the iteration 3. Now if you scroll up, can you see that it has executed for automate code 3?
So can you do a wrong one of the two, for example, and run all these three, so it will pass 2 and
Now,
1, right?
now let me make, let's say the middle iteration.
Right.
Let me change the password to wrong password. Now previously you saw that all of the iteration passed, right? Now if you execute it 3 iteration, you will see one of the iteration will fail.
Well, and I think up to this was the last class almost.
Mhm.
Basically this part is mainly last class.
Last class.
Understanding better.
Yeah. I brought manual correlation and I am now going through the discussion. Now hold on. Can you see we do not have a failure here? Can you see we do not have a failure here?
No.
Yeah.
We do not have a failure. So
I
what?
think that's because of our the software itself.
No.
No?
It's supposed to fail.
Because we selected P user ID, we need to select P password.
Hold on. Let's see what happened here. This is our application, right?
Yes.
Let's see. So this is the Automate Code 3 login successful, right? This is the open application for Automate Code 3. And then let's see. Can you see? It
Yeah.
failed for Automate Code 2.
Right.
But it didn't come here.
It came here. Can you say the problem here? Can you see that web tours? Can you see this text web tours?
Yeah. Because in the load runner does not go by that. They go by the web rack find.
Yeah, web
They
text fine.
found that thing.
Hold on. Now let's go to the application. Can you see in login request? If you come here, in login request, what we are checking to make sure that it is passing? We have a text web tours. So we are getting that web tours. Even if we are successful, we are getting that. If we are not successful,
Still we are getting
that web tours. So that is why
We have to make that unique actually.
we have to make this for login successful, right? For login successful, let's go to the runtime viewer again. So when our login is successful, what is the unique text that we get? When our login is successful, we got that welcome. Can you see? We got that welcome, right? We will put that welcome here instead of web tools. That is why I ask you to put custom your preferable checkpoint. You do not put a checkpoint that script is choosing. You have seen that it is actually not working. That is why it is always you do your custom checkpoint. Now let me put welcome here, right? Now let me run it again. What should I see now? We should see at least one failure. Let's see. We already saw that, right? So can you see it failed one time? Where? Now let me take a look. If I go, iteration 1 passed. How do I know iteration 1 passed? Because can you see logout was able to pass. Logout pass means it went up to the end of the script, right? And then let's do the next iteration. Can you see? It failed here. Welcome. We didn't get the welcome. Can you see in login ended with a fail status? Is it meaningful?
Login ended with LPI.
Because we didn't get that welcome. Why? Because our password, can you see what is the password we used?
134.
L1234, right? And that's why it failed. Okay. Now third iteration it was able to go through. Is it clear up to that point?
Yes.
Okay, let me move forward. Now here, now we are seeing that there is a issue. Like if application is responding properly for bad login credential, application is responding properly for a bad login credential, but our script is failing, right? Although application is behaving as
Right.
it's supposed to,
Yeah.
but our script is failing for a bad credential, right?
In other words, the script the browser is working as expected.
Expected.
It's failing. It's supposed to fail.
Supposed to
But
fail.
in the script, it's not failing.
In the
It's
script,
not showing that it's failing.
in the script it is failing.
Okay.
But here, let's say you are running a test,
Right.
right? You have 1000 record, 1000 login credentials. Out of 1000 login credentials, sometimes you will see some of the login credentials are not working. So it is hard to make sure that all of the, if you have 10,000 login credentials, to make sure that all of the login credentials are working, right? Now, if, let's say out of 1000 users, out of 1000 users,
50 is not working.
50 is not working.
Right.
So you saw 50 failures in the test.
Right.
Now, if you want to manually
Check all 50.
check all of these 50 failures. What is these 50 failures? It will
Yeah.
take time, right? Because lot of things, when you are analyzing lot of things. Now, that 50 failures, when you are executing a test, if you see failures, you will have to analyze these failures, and when you are preparing a report, you will have to mention it in the report that these 50 failures all are because of this reason, right? Now, if you have to analyze these 50 failures, it will take a substantial amount of time. You do not want to spend that time.
But it is also right, some of the failures is expected.
Which one?
Like for example, you put the wrong credentials, it's
Yeah.
supposed to fail.
You're supposed to
So
fail.
that fail is not really fail. So
It's
we don't have to
not
worry
really
about
fail.
that fail.
You do, so
We have to figure out which fail we should be auditing or which fail we should not be auditing.
should be. Now, consider in a situation, you have executed a test. When you executed a test, let's say you have 500,000 transactions.
Yeah.
Out of that 500,000 transactions, you have 5,000 failures. 500,000 transactions.
Yeah.
Out of that 500,000, you have 5,000 failures.
Right.
Out of that 500,000, you have some failures because of the credential, because of your script, and you have some failures because of the original application. Now, if you have to sort out all of these failures, it will take a week, more than a week.
Yeah.
So you do not want to mix the failures that is not application
Or the
related.
application failure.
That is like, if let's say you are submitting a correct user ID, correct password, application is not able to, when you are running a test under load, application is not able to handle that load. That is the real failure. You are submitting a correct data,
Right.
but application is not able to handle. Now, you do not want to mix those failures where user ID is bad and it is not getting a
That's the
certain
fail you
password.
want to fix basically.
Yeah, you want to fix that. You do not want to mix those data related failures with the actual application failures. How
Okay,
will you
okay.
how will
Very
you
fine.
separate them?
How do you differentiate them?
How will you differentiate them? That is what we learned in the last class. We put two checkpoints. One checkpoint for when our login is successful, another checkpoint when our login is not successful, and we put counter. So both of the checkpoint is there, and when you put counter, if it get a checkpoint, it will save something on that checkpoint. If it do not get that checkpoint, it will save 0 to that checkpoint. And then we put a if condition. Now, if it do not get a particular checkpoint, it will not fail your script over there. It will not show a error message. Instead, it will, if it get the checkpoint, then it will save 1 to that counter. If it do not get that checkpoint, it will save 0 to that checkpoint. And after that, after the execution of the request, we put if condition. If you get that counter greater than 0, then our login is successful. If you do not get that counter greater than 0, then our login is not successful. But if you do not get any of them, if you do
Still
not
successful.
if you do not get, like, if we supply a good credential, we will get login successful. If we supply a bad credential, it will say login not successful, right? So if you give a good credential, you will get successful. If you get bad credential, you will get login not successful. If you do not get either login successful or not successful, if you do not get any of them, that means application was not able to respond properly because of the load.
As expected.
As no, if you now again focus here what I am saying. If you supply a good credential, then you are getting okay, your login successful. If you supply a bad credential, you are getting your login is not successful.
Still that is good.
Still that is good.
In that case.
But if you do not get any of them, login successful, you didn't get it. Login not successful, you didn't get it. You get something else. You get something else means you get page is not available. Application is not. That means application is not working. That is a real failure.
So what we do?
So in other words, when you have 500,000 data, out of 5,000 wrong, out of 5,000 you have to find out which one is really, we didn't get any result.
Yeah,
And that's the one real problem.
that's the one real problem,
Okay.
right? So now, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to quickly implement it here.
Okay.
You just follow, and you will see like how I am differentiating.
Differentiating those
Yeah.
faults.
Yeah. Okay. Now you come here.
I think that is the whole gist of this whole class. Find out the real problem.
See here. So, and when you record, after you record, can you see LR think time?
In 1040.
Control F.
Yeah.
Find all. We have two think time. You remove all of this think time.
You don't need to think anymore, right?
No, we don't need this think time. Because when, like, let's say when you open application, before you are inputting user ID and password, it was taking time. So that is the think time it captured. Okay. Now in login, before, can you see here? When our login is successful, when our login is not successful, what is the error message that we get? Let me see here. When our login is not successful, that is the error message we get, right?
No welcome.
Web tours error. What we get? Web tours error. Web tours error, right? Can you see this text web tours error? Okay. Okay. Now you come here. Insert. Insert new step, and you type here find. Can you see average find? You, what is that? What is the error message we got? Web
Or error.
tours
Error.
error, right? And you, can you see here save count? You say CTR login failed. Let's say CTR invalid create. Login invalid. Oh, you can give it any name. I'm just giving a name. Invalid create. Okay. Now let's click OK. Right? Now, can you see this average find that we have added? What is the difference between these average find and these average find?
First one is that if your login is successful,
Mm-hmm.
the match with the word on the successful, that is
Welcome.
welcome.
Mm-hmm.
This successful is first step is successfully run.
Mm-hmm.
And if the login is unsuccessful, then it's matched with the
CTR.
login. Sorry,
On the
web source error. Then it's
Well, the fundamental difference is
yeah.
they're both going to be passing, but they're both expected.
Expected.
Expected result.
They're both expected. One is failing, one is passing, but they're both expected. Now we need to find another one other than this, and that's the real problem.
Okay.
But because the second one, error means it did
Hold
not
on,
pass.
hold
It
on
did
here.
not pass because we didn't put the right condition.
If you take a look
Mhm.
in the text by seeing what is the difference you are seeing. First one we do not have a save count. Second one we have a save count.
What is the difference between set count or not set count?
Okay, save count. If we get this,
Mhm.
if we get this text, it will save one. It will save one in this one.
Okay.
If in the response, if we get this text, it will save one over there.
So it makes it easier for us to get the if condition based on the 0 and 1.
Yes.
So, if we got one, then we understand it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Expected wrong.
Expected wrong.
It is wrong but expected wrong.
Then it's successful.
Okay. Okay. Take a look here. Now for both of it, I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to put it over there as well. But for this one, I'll give a different name. CTR
Login valid.
CTR
Then you log in or what?
valid credential.
Okay.
So when it is valid credential, I will get welcome.
I think you can change the other one to make similar invalid credential.
Yeah, I did it. Invalid
So
credential.
you put the word login here. So if you take it out, so
Oh my
you have
God.
more similarity. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Another question
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, you do not need to go there, insert a step. So what were you were saying to make it similar?
Yeah.
Yeah, we made it similar. Can you say CTR login?
Oh, you put
valid-
login there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Right?
So that's similar. Yeah.
Now we have
So I
two.
understand what is the she's telling.
What she is telling, like you do not need to right click and click on find. If you know the syntax, you can directly
just
type
write
it.
Yes. Yes.
Type it.
Yeah.
Now, can you see that I have these two? Now, if I execute it 3 times,
This time everything will pass through, right?
it will pass.
The message not gonna come out properly when making spell it out.
One page.
One fail.
No,
It should not fail this time
it should not fail.
because we are getting both the time the same.
Hold on, hold on.
But the number is the fact.
Guys, take a look.
Yeah.
First iteration. So this is the first iteration where we have valid credential. Where we have valid credential.
Right. Right. What
Okay.
is it saying here?
Now here, take a look here. CTR valid credential 2. CTR invalid credential 0. Right? When you are supplying a valid credential, then what you get? If you look at your script, can you see CTR login valid credential? We are checking for welcome. So welcome, how many times it got in the response? 2 times. 2 times, right? So when login is successful, it is getting welcome, and
And 2 times.
2 times.
So that's why it's showing like
2.
login credential.
That's why it is that it got that welcome text twice in the
Twice.
screen. That's why this login valid credential is 2.
Okay.
Now, did it get that invalid credential where we are looking for web tools error? This text, was it
did
able to
not
get
get
that?
it.
So that's why it is 0,
0.
because we have a valid credential. Now let's take a look the second iteration where we had
1 and 0.
invalid credential.
Invalid
Now can you see
altogether.
valid credential where we are looking for welcome, it is 0, and invalid credential where we are getting web tools
Web tools
error, we get that one twice. Can you see this?
Right.
Why? Because we have invalid credential, and because of the invalid credential we got this text in the response how many times?
2 times.
2 times, and that's why
I don't
it's
remember really it's 2 times there or not, but it's still the big time.
yeah, 2 times. One time we can see, another time hidden in the application.
Okay.
Okay, we have that error text twice, and that's why it saved 2 in this invalid credential.
In this case, it doesn't really matter how many times.
How many times? If we
It's
get
done.
more than 0,
Yeah.
if we get more
Each
than
one,
0,
that's enough.
that's it.
Yeah.
How many times we are not concerned about it?
Yes.
If you get more than 0, that means we get at least 1. If you get at least 1, that means we got that error message. Not clear? Okay, I'll explain one more time. Take a look here. So first let me show you this one. Let me come here. So this is your successful login.
Right.
So when you put automate code 3 and a proper password, you get that welcome, right?
Right.
Clear? How many times you get that welcome?
Because
No,
2 times.
2 times. We can see one time here, another time we have, if you go to Fiddler,
Yeah, but we can say 1 time as we see. It doesn't matter it's more than 1.
actually,
It is-
Shahid bhai, hold on. Let me give a explanation.
So we input 3 times, automate code 1, automate code 2, automate code 3.
Mhm.
And first one is welcome successful. Second was automate code 2. We put wrong password. So second one is failed.
Naved, hold on. Look here. So this was the manual login. So in manual login, if you look for welcome in the response, right? Now take a look in the login. That is where we are logging in. Now let me do one thing. Control F. Let me clear unmarked old results. Okay, unmarked old results. Now welcome. Now can you My Mikiko session is gone. 1 second, guys. We record it. If you look for welcome here, can you see we have welcome here? Can you see? And then can you see over there? And the other one we have welcome. So how many times we have welcome?
2 times.
2 times.
So why the highlighted there?
Highlighted is the one.
Oh,
3.
no.
No.
No, hold on here. In login, we are looking in login.
Okay.
In login, how many times we have that welcome word?
2 times.
2 times. How many times we have that welcome word? 2 times, right? 2 times.
That's for one time condition.
One time when you log in, you get login 2 times actually, right?
Right.
Hold on. And
The
then
first one. We are talking about the first one.
successful login, first one.
First one, yeah.
Now let's go to the application. Let's do a invalid login, and let's go to our fiddler. I think our capturing is off. Let's capture. And then if you do a, let's say, automate code 2, and let's give a invalid password 1 2 3 4 up to 4, right? Now when I'm trying to log in with the invalid credential, hold on, it is the request is going through. Give it a little bit second. Now can you see, you go there in the fiddler. So this request came here for what? For invalid login. Now for invalid login, what is the error message that we got? Copy this, right? Copy this and go to your fiddler. Control F, right? Now you look for this. Okay, in this one, inside this one, let's take a look. So we got that error message once here, right? And if you look for the second time, can you see we have it in another place? Can you see this? Let me make you more clear on it. Let me take this to a Notepad++. Notepad++, paste it here, and then Control F. Let me go to fiddler. Let me copy this and go to Notepad++. Paste it here. Find all. Can you see how many times we got? No.
Where is it?
Line number 14. Line number 14 and line number 18. Can you see we have that error message in 2 places?
So why 2 times? My question is why 2 times?
I will answer. First, appreciate that we have 2 times.
Yeah, we have 2 times.
Can we appreciate all of we that error message we have in 2 places?
So that is number 18. But what is number 14 at?
Actually, I am confused.
Okay.
I get it.
One time is in line number 14
Yeah,
and another time is in line number 18.
I get it.
Right? We have it 2 times.
Right, because of
The code is
this is too long.
Hold on. No. But if you see in the application, if
But
you
remember, is it the first thing? It doesn't matter why it's 2 times, right?
it doesn't matter why 2 times.
Okay.
We are getting it 2 times.
2 times, yes, right.
The code is written in that way. Although we can see 1 times, but if you
In the
analyze
back
the
end.
code, load runner is actually looking at the code.
Because one code is for title and another code is for color. It's for
Now,
green there.
whatever, forget or title or forget it. The thing is, we have it 2 times.
2 times.
Load runner is loading in the code. Load runner is not looking here. Now can you see that we have that error message, right? Right? Okay. Now let me go to my script. In the script, when your login is successful, let's start from the beginning. When your login is successful, can you see invalid cred? This valid cred, when your login is successful, login valid credential, that means we are looking for welcome, we are getting welcome. How many times? 2 times, and we are saving that 2 in this variable. We are saving that 2 in this variable, and then invalid credential.
We are saving 2 in this variable?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean like those 2 were 2
Yeah.
error.
No,
Okay.
no.
Welcome.
When our login is
Welcome,
successful,
sorry, welcome.
Welcome.
right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
we are not getting that error, so that's why we are saving 0 to this CTR login invalid
That's the
credential.
first credential you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, right.
For the second time, when our login is failed because of the credential, can you see? Did we get any welcome?
No.
No. So that's why
You get 0.
login valid credential is 0,
Okay.
and we got the error message twice, and that's why we saved 2 here,
Say 2 times.
right?
Right.
Now did you understand?
Yeah,
Okay, then you come here. Now what I will say, I will say that if
You will check here number 3.
yeah, number 3 we got login successful, yeah. If we have to do this, we can do it after the transaction. Let's do it after the after the transaction.
Before the return, right?
Yeah, so after that login transaction is done, we are
Right.
putting that condition. Else if do this, and else you do this. Now in the if, right? If
The condition.
if this like valid credential welcome, if you get that welcome, what we are saying here, right? What we will have to do, let me make it bigger here. LR eval string, and then inside that we will have to put curly bracket, right? And then we will have to convert it to number,
Yeah.
right, up to that, right? And then it what it will return, it will be returning 1 or 0 or 2, right? If this greater than 0, then
More than 0, right?
yeah, greater
Yeah,
than
sure,
0,
more than 0, yes.
then we are saying LR
Output message.
output message
Welcome.
login successful for user ID %s. So what will go here instead of %s? LR eval string P user ID, and then we want to mention also the password %s, and over there we will have to put another instead of password, right? So if our login, if we get this one, then we are saying login successful. If we get CTR valid credential greater than 0. Now let me copy this.
This is the whole basic condition, right?
Yeah, let me copy this here. Else if login invalid credential, what is the name we get put over there? Invalid credential. Let me actually copy this name from here, and let me put it here. ctr invalid credential greater than 0, then we will copy the same line and up there we will put login unsuccessful for that credential. Now if your login is not successful, can you log out? No. So if your login is not successful, then we are coming in this block, right? What we will have to do, we will have to exit iteration from here. We do not want to go any further. What we want to do, lr exit, and then here lr exit,
This is something new usually, right?
yeah, lr exit iteration, and continue. Can you see when I have typed the whole thing, it become blue? That means it is correct. And then lr, let's say lr stop. We are not giving pass, we are not giving fail, we are asking stop here. lr stop. Now if our login is successful, we put proper message and then it will move forward with the logout. If our login is not successful because of the user credential, it will put a suitable error message, and then it will not move forward for the logout. Instead it will stop here.
So LC, the alert output message we can do error message also, right?
We are not going to do error message here because this is not an error. Okay, we are not going to bring unnecessary error in our script. Now let me show you where you need to put the error message. Now you are putting, let's say if you get a,
In both cases right here, we are looking for more than 0.
yeah,
If it is more than 0, then we stop right there.
no, we are not stopping. First case we are not stopping. First case we are giving this message and then we are moving forward with the logout. Remember we have logout afterwards,
Right.
then we are going for logout. Second case, when we are getting the error message for credential, that credential is not correct. Here we are giving the message again and then we are exiting from that iteration. We are not going for the logout.
It's under this message.
Okay. So what's the fundamental difference between exiting the iteration and
Exiting iteration means it will not,
Run.
remember after these we have some other thing,
Right.
sign up.
Oh, I see.
So if you cannot log in successfully, you can sign up. It doesn't make sense, you are trying to sign up, right? So you stop there,
Plus we get some other data, so you have to basically
Yeah.
run all of them, right?
all of them. So you move forward with the next data.
Okay.
You got it? Now if you get login successful, you do this. If you get the error message that invalid credential, you do this. But if you do not get the success message, if you do not get the invalid credential message, then what? Then something else that we do not know. It is when we are putting load, application might be not behaving properly. Right? Now here we are going to put another message. Right? Here we are going to put login success. We are not going to put. We are going to put that what is that?
Neither successful.
Invalid or unknown response found for user ID and password. Now this is an actual error, right?
This is an actual.
Now we are going to put, instead of output message, we are going to put lr error message. lr error message, and then again we are going to put lr exit iteration. Here we are going to put lr exit iteration and continue, and we are going to make it fail here.
This is real cell.
Real fail. Now,
But
guys.
now, let's understand one more time. We are putting if the legal, eligible string, since your login valid credential more than 0, we can get that one thing. The other one we can get more than 0, the invalid credential. These two things, right? So both they are actually good for us. Now the third one, so if we get one of the two more than 0, then we try to stop right there. We don't want
No.
to log out.
If we get login successful, then we are giving the message, and then we are logging out. Can you see in this block we do not have LR exit?
Right.
Can you see in this block, do you have LR exit?
No, we don't.
That means after giving this message, we are moving forward with the bottom part of the script.
Right, because you already have that. I mean, you fulfill the if, not else.
Yeah.
On that one.
So
Right
if login is not successful, then we cannot log out, right? And then we cannot log out, and we are exiting out.
Not successful because of invalid
Credential.
Then we cannot log out.
So we are giving a output message, right? And if none of the above condition is true, then it will come to the else block, and we do not know what happened. We are giving error message.
That's real. We are treating the real else.
Real. Actually, we are going to run a real performance test on this application, and you will see what this means.
Right. Okay. So I got pretty much got it. We have to go over. That's fine. I got very basic. Then what else after this?
Okay. Now, here again, some of you will not understand it. You will have to go to your home. It is a request. You go through multiple times. Trust me, I am very confused. If there is someone who will be able to explain it in more clearer way, or if someone will be able to explain it in more different way. So these things, what now you need to do, you need to go home, you need to sit, you need to do it multiple times, you need to watch it, and then you need to do it by yourself. I didn't keep anything hidden. Whatever I did here, I did in front of you. I tried to explain it. Now you go through home, you go home, you do it by yourself. I want everyone, you do whatever I did. Now, take a look here. I put a breakpoint here. How many iterations I am executing now? 3. I will show you what is actually happening. Okay. Let me start execution. And this is very fundamental. Your understanding is required here. No other option.
This thing what we're doing is a very much related to practical work. Actually.
Yeah. Now, the first time we are attempting, right? Okay. Now, can you take a look that our login is successful?
Yes.
Our login is successful. Let me make this one a
Did
little
you give
bit.
any breakpoint?
Yeah, I have a breakpoint
You have
on
a
it.
breakpoint.
Now our login is successful, right? You
Right.
can see from this.
Mm.
If you take a look, this screen, our login is successful.
Right.
And if you take a look at the log, execution log, can you see? This is to
Credential
valid.
login to.
Can you log in valid credential to? Right? Now you come here. Where are we? We are in this line. Then we are checking. So we are checking CTR login valid credential. So valid credential, what is the value of the valid credential variable? We saved here 2, right? What is the value that we got? 2. Now here, is it like when we are checking it, is it greater than 0? Yes. So it is coming here. Can you see output message? And then it is giving a output message. If you take a look, can you see? Login successful for user ID automate code 1 password L12345, right? And then it is moving forward for the logout. Can you see? Now it is logging out, and if you look at the application, it log out, right? This is for the good credential. Now if I execute
The
it,
first one.
first one. Now I am doing it for the second one. Now I am sending the login credential for the wrong user ID password. Right? Can you see when you send the wrong user ID and password, you look at the log. You have to understand how this log is working. If you do not understand this log, it will be very hard for you to understand the script. Now can you see this time we have invalid credential, right? Right? We have the error message. Now can you see this counter is 2, invalid credential 2, right? Now when we are checking for the if condition, is it greater than 0 here? No. Now it is going to the else if block, right? Else invalid credential, is it greater than 0? Yes. Now can you see it is coming here, login unsuccessful. It will be giving you a message. Can you see it has printed login unsuccessful for user ID automate code 2, password L1234. Can you see? You got it? Now can you see it is line number 56. It is exiting, right? When it is exiting, was it able? Did it attempted for log out? No. It exited out. Can you see?
Go to the next data.
Next data. Can you see it has started for the third data, right? Can you see it started from the beginning again? Now let's go through. Now we are going to do it for the third data, right? If you take a look here, can you see that if you go to the log part, can you see here?
Initial login 2 again.
Valid credential is 2 and invalid credential is 0, right? Now it will again valid credential greater than 0 here, so it will come here and then it will go for the logout part. Does it make sense now? Now you will see, can you see script aborted instead of pass, script aborted? What does this mean? You will see in one of the iteration, iteration 1 ended with pass, right? If you look at iteration 2, can you see we have aborted. We didn't finish that iteration, right? We do not have a pass here. Instead we exited out. So that's why script aborted.
For the wrong one.
It's for the wrong one.
We did not finish log out.
Log out.
Okay.
When you use LR exit and you put LR stop, it will say script aborted.
In that case, every time it will happen like that because we'll have data, some of them will be like that.
Some of them will be like that.
So it will be aborted.
Yeah, it will be aborted. Hold on. Now, hold on. Now, you got it, right? You understand what I am doing here.
Yeah.
I am going to execute a performance test now. Are we good with that? Okay, I am going to execute a performance test now. So let's go to which one? Else, right? That error message we didn't get it because this. No, hold on. This if you take a look at the script, these two conditions we were able to reach, but the third condition we were not able to reach. Yeah, we will be trying to find that situation by putting pressure on that application. Now we are going to put pressure on that application to see if that third condition, if it comes. Now are you good with, like I am moving forward with some more thing? Are you good? All of you? I am seeing some of the unhappy face. What about all of you?
Well, I would say let us digest this plus some of the I mean, it's up to you though. I don't have personally any problems, but I would say go ahead.
They have said
No. You can go ahead the way because we are going to use the video anyway.
Yeah.
So if we have problem, we can talk again. So at least we get some hearing.
I want to move forward a little bit actually.
Yeah.
And I'll put you like tremendous pressure this week. You have to come prepared in the next class.
No problem.
The homework that I am giving, you have to complete it and then you will have to come to class.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I am going to.
As long as we get the class video.
Sure.
That's the precondition.
Remember, if I cannot give you this video, I'll record another one, then I'll give you.
Yeah, because trust me, it's kind of for me psychological. If you give me something else, even if they're the same,
Mhm.
and as soon as I know that it's not the same one,
Mhm.
it will make
Mine is fair.
problem for me.
Okay, no problem.
Please give the right one.
Okay. So now let me see if I have up to 99. Oh, actually we cannot make this application fail because in this with this license we can execute a test up to 10 users. We cannot put more pressure on this application like putting hundreds of users or
Even this you can do few right, few wrong, few really wrong.
yeah.
Fail one is from the load.
Fail one is the fail error message will be coming from the load because we cannot put that much load because
Oh, I see.
we can execute we can do up to 10 users.
So usually we were gonna get the concurrent user,
Mhm.
and when we're gonna apply the concurrent user, that's when the verification will fail.
Fail, yeah.
The concurrent user, not correctly.
Actually concurrent user is actually putting the pressure on the application. So I'm trying to see how many users I have here. I can see I have up to 20. That's fine. Up to 20, right? Now let's go to this script, the script that I have. This script. Now in this script, I'm going to open this parameter file. I'm going to copy. Right? Actually, the problem here is I cannot put 100 users. We will do. Finally, we will do. We will generate 100 users and we will do it. But for now, I'm trying to show something here. Let's say 5. Actually 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Just two more.
and some of the users are
Wrong.
wrong, right? Remember that. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now I have 20. I have 20 user, 20 data in that file. Now let me keep it.
Configuration, right?
Yeah, let me open the other part. Let me open the actually this script. If you go there, if you go to the runtime settings, if you go to proxy, let me remove proxy, and if you go to run logic, you put one iteration. Now I'm going to go to controller. Remember we have a
But why did you put 100? Are you not going to go all 20?
we will do 20, but 20 will be done by 20 concurrent users. Let's say we put,
Oh, I see.
remember I gave you an example. Let's say
Yeah.
we have 10 cars here, right? We already discussed that example.
Before we are not doing concurrent. One
No,
by one.
One by one. Now we have
Now we are doing all 20.
10 cars here, we are putting 10 drivers. So we put 10 users inside the script. We are going to put 10 drivers to drive them.
At the same time.
So 10 users will take 10 virtual users will take 10 of the ID and will log in at the same time. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the controller. Can you see this controller? You open this.
We did use today the generator, now using controller.
You have to leave. Will you be able to stay another 10 minutes? You have to leave now? It's fine. If you need to drive fast, then I will say you leave now, because go ahead, because I'm recording, right?
Yes, we are already
I think you can move forward with you. Sure.
in 10 minutes, video is not going to make any problem.
Yeah. So in the controller, it is taking a little bit time. Probably it will take a little bit time. Let me pause my recording here.
Oh, I see.
I will stop my recording here, and also I will end my session here. Remember, guys, your homework is whatever we did in the class. Up to that, I want to see complete, and you want to send it before the class. And also in the application, if you take a look, if you go to the application, can you see there is a sign up? I want you to write a script. You click on sign up and you input data here. You input data here for this, let's say auto 1000, and then you put password. I'm recording. And then let's say first name L1, F1, and if you submit, if you continue, can you see your recording is done? I want you do a script that will, in your computer, it will create 99 users. From 1 to 99, you record by this script. You write a script that will open the application, click on sign up, input the user ID, and then it will, you run that script, and you actually registered 99 users or 100 users in this application.
The parameter is interval.
By doing the parameter, you first do the script and register 100 users in your computer.
Separate script or with
Separate script. One script will be the one that we did for login, logout. Another script will be for
100 users?
100 users. You do the registration.
99 or 100 you want?
100.
100 users.
Alright, guys?
So two different ones.
Two different work. One is whatever we did in the class, another one is for sign up.
Just creating
100 users.
100 users.
100 users. Okay? So that's it for today. Again, it was a long class, I know. Thank you for your patience. We will be talking to you again in the next class.
So here we